2020, a year in review. Is this a republic or nah? Man, I gotta talk about this year. Because this year is one of unforgettable proportions. This year, we have lost legends. This year, we have lost freedom. And this year, we have lost our goddamn minds. But before we get into this year and whether or not we have a republic, I like to always start off with great, big, strong ass definitions that tell you what shit is. Therefore, we won't be just guessing. So, the definition of a republic, according to Google, is a state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives, which has an elected or nominated president rather than a monarch, aka an emperor or a king. Wow, so that sounds like some of the people, by the people type shit, right? That sounds like liberty and justice for all. Not just liberty and justice for those I agree with or those I disagree with, but for all. I have sat back, we have all sat back this year and watched the very fabric of this country and what it was founded on fall apart, fall to the wayside. Like your grandma used to say at church, that shit is down by the riverside. What happened to that? Why is freedom down by the riverside? I understand it's a pandemic. I understand you want to take precautions. I understand you want to be safe. I get that. But don't get so wrapped up into safety to where you get alluded to the idea that your government can actually keep you safe. Because that's bullshit. The government, nothing can keep you safe. That is the point of you being alive. You might not want to hear that. But the very point, the very contract you signed when you came up out your mama walls, when you came up out your mama belly, or however the fuck you got here today, when you came up out of there, you basically signed a contract saying, hey, listen, there's no such thing as safety as I accept this thing called my life. There's no such thing as safety as I accept this thing that I call my fucking life. You only get one, and we all die a random ass fucked up death. That's how it goes. But what the government does not get to do is impose massive restrictions and inflict massive tyranny upon a people which disagrees with it. Because, see, if the government did have that power, what we would have is a direct democracy. That's when people get in and, you know, they do their little votes. And people that don't even know shit about politics, don't even know shit about how a country was founded, they get say-so for the sake of having say-so. Oh, no. See, in a republic, you got to answer to the Constitution. I repeat, in a republic, you have to answer to a Constitution. And I don't believe this government has my best interests at heart. I don't. And seeing how I don't believe this government has my best interests at heart, this government will never tell me that it has become tyrannical. This government will never tell me that it has violated all of my civil rights. That's up to me to decide. Now, you can go ahead and be a dumbass and believe Dr. Fauci and everybody else if you want to. That's your prerogative. I'm not going to knock you. Matter of fact, I humble myself right now on this podcast, on this program, and apologize for wrongly calling you a dumbass. You're not a dumbass. You're a rational human. And rational humans, they get scared and they become irrational. They become unable to think for themselves. They become washed up. They become a shell of what real education will lead you to be. Real education goes in and assess the problem for oneself. You don't go in there and you just motherfucking go along with the go along. That ain't education, that's indoctrination. And I've been telling y'all since the beginning of this gunpowder philosophy. I did not know that this shit was gonna lead up to 2020. That the shit I've been talking about on this podcast, get in line, follow the leader. God damn, look what we are. Look what we are. That's all we know how to do. It's follow behind a motherfucker. And here we are. We're gonna follow behind till there ain't no more rights, till there ain't no more freedom. I mean, how much of your rights do you think the government gonna take away? And how much of that you think they're gonna be willing to give back to your ass? Anybody ever heard of the Patriot Act? Anybody ever try to get through an airport post 9/11? You know what I'm saying? This shit don't change. All they do is make it stricter. They make it harder. They double down on what the fuck they did last time. Now, I spent the beginning of this pandemic telling people, like, look, if you want to wear a mask, I'm not going to be the one to tell you that you stupid or you crazy for wearing the mask. I personally think they don't work, but you know what? If you want to wear one, damn it, wear one. But what we don't need is a mandate. If you want to stay in your house, if you want to lose your job, if you don't want to go to the church, if you don't want to go to the strip club, if you don't want your children going to school, whatever it is, you keep your family at bay. That's why you got liberty. The founding fathers, even though they had slavery and they were some flawed human beings for that, they knew one thing about this country, and that was how to build it and the principles of liberty that it stands on. Y'all need to research what a republic is. Y'all need to research what independent liberty is about. And it ain't got shit to do with none of these fucking lockdowns. I'm just saying, all I know is Kobe Bryant died. Rest in peace. And after that, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. I'm going to tell you, man, no other year has made me understand and appreciate American values and American freedom the way this year has. No other year has made me a proud American, because I grew up myself. My family didn't put me on this shit. I just always gravitated towards shit like Rage Against the Machine, Tupac Shakur, anything that was kind of against the grain. So with that, I always thought different. And also with that, I kind of in my ideology became like a black rebel in a sense. And I was kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, I was on that fuck America tip for a minute, because I'm like, the American dream, they ain't never did shit for me. That's an American nightmare if you're a black man. But then 2020 came. Then I realized as a black man, and as flawed as this nation is not perfect. But it is our job to help perfect our union. That is our job as American citizens. And this year made me realize, with me and my black skin and all, I and people like me are the very fabric of this country. Like it or not. Coming fresh out of slavery.